Hey everyone, I'm Devin Norris, and this is a Board Game Co. preview. Today, I'm looking at Herdvana, which is a game for 2 to 6 players, or if you have a group of 6, 8, or 10, you could play team play, and everybody has a partner with which they are working. This is a set collection and herd protection game that is going to be very familiar for people who may have heard of or played Cover Your Assets. But what you're going to be doing on your turn is building and protecting the herd in front of you while trying to keep some of your nefarious opponents away from your very, very cute and very, very quirky animals that you have in the menagerie of wherever you are. Herdvana is a simple game. On your turn, you have one of these actions that you are going to be doing, and that is going to be progressing to the end state. The end of the game happens whenever you run through the full deck, then players continue play until all of their cards are gone. So you are going to see and experience every single card in the deck every time you play this game. It's just a matter of the order and also how things stack up by the end of it. If I was to show you what's going on here, these are all of the cards. These are all of the herds that you are going to be protecting, and hopefully if you're able to gather enough of them without the protection of a farmer, then you'll actually be able to achieve Herdvana, hence the name of the game, and that will give you bonus points at the end when you are scoring. Anytime you have your animals, you have a few decisions in front of you. So on your turn, if you're going to begin a herd, which is one of the first options that you can do, you need to have in hand 2 cards or more of the same herd. So if I've got 2 bees right here, I could play these from my imaginary hand, and that would start a herd. Technically, you can also start a herd from the discard pile. So say if I had 1 bee in my hand, and then there was a bee that was in the discard pile face up at the top, I could take this bee with 1 or more from my hand, and once again, begin a herd. So as I mentioned, you can begin a herd either from your hand or a combination of your hand and the discard. The next thing that you can do is once you have a herd in play, you can build on it. So if I've already got 2 bees here, and later on I'm able to grab another one in my hand, I could continue to build and make it larger, progressing hopefully towards that Herdvana where you get all 8 of one type in your particular herd, and you're able to twist it sideways, protect it permanently to where it can't be stolen from, and then also it's extra bonus points, which are really, really nice. Extra bonus points are always good. So that is how you build on a herd, but also the other thing that you can do is you can protect a herd. So say your herd has not achieved Herdvana yet, and you have less than the required 8 that you need, you can always put down a farmer, which protects your herd from being stolen. That means that you won't be able to have somebody else play a bee card or a chameleon card, which acts as a wild, funnily enough. It seems pretty fitting given how chameleons are and how they blend into things. And you'll actually be able to protect it from both chameleons and other bees played by other players who want to steal your herd. So that is how you protect a herd. You can even stack multiple farmers on top of one herd if you want to really ensure that you can protect it. And you might say, once you protect it, why would you want to be redundant with that? Why would you want to put multiple farmers? Because curiously enough, in this crazy world where we have different herds of creatures and also farmers, there are aliens. And aliens aren't really concerned with herds and the building of those animal groups at all. Aliens are just interested in abducting farmers. And anytime someone plays an alien at another player, they get to choose a farmer that they are wanting to discard. So if you only have 1 farmer on there and you play an alien, this herd is no longer protected, and someone could start to steal those bees, which is why sometimes you might be incentivized to put more than 1 farmer on there. That is why you would protect your herd and the way in which you could do it. So, you can build a herd, you can continue to add on to a herd, you can protect a herd, but we haven't even talked about stealing yet. Stealing is a very clever system in which if I have 2 bees and I've placed down my herd here, let's see how that might play out. So if we're playing that out to determine a steal, someone else on their turn might choose to play a B. This is the same herd, and so they're challenging it. They're saying, hey, I've got a B, and I want to add on to that, so I'm going to maybe convince your Bs to join me. If I don't have any Bs or any chameleons in hand, I can't protect the herd. So if they play that, then they will be able to steal that, and it goes over to their play area. That's not great for me. However, if they play a B and they try to steal it, if I have in my hand either a chameleon or another B, I can protect my herd from being stolen. And so this is a progressive stealing action in which whoever has played the last card keeps the herd. So if my enemy or my opponent plays a B and I defend it with a chameleon, and if they don't have any other cards, I've just further increased the size of my herd. It's worth more points now at the end of the game. Points are in the top left corner here, and as I mentioned, if you get Herdvana, you get bonus points. So there are other different herds in the game that are worth more points, bison being the most valuable in terms of the point cost of the herd. But that is how I defend it. However, if the opponent had played a B, and then I had played a chameleon, and then if they had played a chameleon themselves or another B, and I was left out, and I didn't have anything left, then they would have won the steal action, and they would have taken the herd with its increased bolstered size. So that is how you steal. You're either going to be beginning a herd and adding it, you're going to be building onto it, you're going to be taking from the discard pile to construct a herd, or you're going to be protecting a herd by adding a farmer, or you're going to be stealing a herd with either a chameleon or the exact same type of animal, or you're going to be abducting farmers. The final thing that you can do, if you don't have any other options at your disposal, is you can simply discard. If you want to discard, then what that is going to do is you're going to pick a card from your hand, you're going to discard it, and draw up. It's very simple. It's just kind of the last resort. If you don't have any other options at your disposal, you can go ahead and you can discard. I did mention previously that you can defend your steal outside of your turn. Now, you're not punished for doing so. If you are ever playing cards outside of the regular run of play, you are able to draw back up to your 6. So if I play 1 B and I protect it, I'm able to draw 1 more card up to 6. If I play 2 Bs and a chameleon, I'm able to draw 3 cards and get back up to 6. So you're never punished for protecting your herd, which makes sense. You are good herders, and I think I get herders, emphasis on the ERD rather than HURT. So you're good herders, and you are trying to achieve Herdvana and also have the most points at the end of the game. I've mentioned already, you go ahead until all cards in the game have been played or discarded, and then you count up points. Farmers, naturally, they're worth a lot of points. They give you plus 10. So they not only protect your herds, but they also give a lot of points, which is another reason why you might be incentivized to abduct them with aliens and get rid of them. And then the only other bonus scoring that you get are when you have all 8 of a type, and you have achieved Herdvana. It's a very simple game. It's a very clever iteration on some similar set collection ideas that you've seen in other games. But the Herdvana, the protection with the farmers, the stacking ability of that, and also in this, all of your herds are at the threat of being attacked by other players. So this is a game in which the board state changes frequently. There are a lot of players who are going to be stealing every opportunity that they get, but there's also a little bit of nuance and strategy. If I've played chickens on my turn, I may not want to play this because I want to hold this in hand until I can steal. But also, I might not even want to steal. I might want to hold it in my hand and wait for somebody else to steal, because typically if somebody else has stolen a herd, then they have probably exhausted their cards in order to steal it successfully, and then you can come right along and steal it from them too. And so it is this kind of comical cycle of the changing of ownership of all of the herds in the game. As I mentioned previously, the most direct comparison I can think of is Cover Your Assets, but there are some different things going on here. So if you like Cover Your Assets, this is a game that is going to be right up your alley. The thing that I also appreciate about Herdvana is that they have the team play. The thing I like about the team play is there is not communication of what you have. So you can't talk to your partner and say, I have this, I have this. You have to keep your hand secret, but you're always able to aid them in the opponent-based actions. So if your partner is stealing and you have similar cards that can help with those herds, you can aid in the stealing process, which might overwhelm the other player. On the flip side, though, you're also able to help them when they are being stolen from. So if you have the same cards as herds that they have in their hand, you can protect them by playing those cards when an opponent tries to steal. So it creates a new dynamic in which there are players that are actually working together, and you're not only managing your hand because of what you have in front of you, you're also considering what your partner has in terms of protecting their cards and what opponents have. I keep calling them enemies. This is not that vicious of a game, but maybe it feels vicious because you're always stealing from each other. You're stealing the cards and you're stealing the animals and the herds. But it's got very vibrant art. If I'm just kind of giving a little bit of a look at stuff, Herdvana underwent a secondary look at the art of style of the game, and I think it was a good choice by them because it really gives a distinctive flavor. The aliens are incredibly cute. They give some really nice details, and I'll just hop on to the top cam so that you can see that a little bit more in full. Very colorful aspects for the chameleons, naturally. Very distinctive characters for the farmers. And then you've got all of these sometimes dopey, sometimes sultry, and sometimes just, complete awkward. This reminds me of, Hey Hey from Moana. So it is a very colorful game. It's a very colorful game, and it's a very charming game. It plays fast. It has a wide player count. You can play it 2 to 6 players. And then also the thing that I have not gotten to experience, but I like the strategic variance on, is the team play, in which when you get those larger groups, 6, 8, and 10, you can really mix things up. And because you have so many players, the deck is much smaller that's left over because everybody is playing through those cards faster. But very simple. You really just, once you make your way through the rules, this simple card right here is pretty much enough to remind you of all the things that you can do. And that is Herdvana. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for the next Board Game Co. preview. Bye.